Hello, and welcome. My favorite time every 3 months. A new anime season is on the horizon, so now's the perfect time to go through all of the upcoming anime that will leave us impressed, depressed, or mating pressed this spring season, which is why you should join me as I continue my journey to discover the perfect anime. Starting off with the sequels with the big one, Fire Force Season 3. Oh yeah, I'm really looking forward to this one because don't get me wrong, it's a fun series with great animation, but this is a David production anime, so there's really one thing here that we should all be looking forward to, and that is the sound. I swear, every punch in this series I feel in my kidneys. Like anime boys beating the crap out of each other, we've got Windbreaker coming back from last spring. And from the same season, Go Go Loser Rangers Season 2. I'm going to be completely honest about this one, I'm not too sure if I'll watch. I thought the first season was pretty decent, I rated it favorably last year, but each episode just made me less and less interested in this series. Maybe enough time has passed and I have been enjoying the Red Ranger Isekai, but for right now, I haven't decided if I'm gonna watch this. What I am interested in is Shoshimin How to Become Ordinary Season 2. This was an anime that had the most detailed storylines about mysteries that nobody would ever care about, but portrayed them in such a way that it really pulled you in until halfway through when the mysteries do start mattering. And by the end of Season 1, I was terrified of one of the main characters. Yeah, it's a slow burn, but it gets you hooked. Bye Bye Earth is coming back too, as well as Black Butler entering its next arc, and Konosuba! Kinda. We're getting some OVA episodes, however, I do want to point out that a new season has already been announced, so hopefully we don't have to wait more than half a decade for that. I've been killing slimes for 300 years and maxed out my level returns for second season, though it's been a few years since the first one, so they should probably update the title. Aharen-San wa Hakurenai is getting a second season too, and that's about it for sequels, except of course My Hero Academia Vigilantes. Okay, so this isn't a sequel, too early for the final season of the series, but there's a few spin-offs this spring, so perfect segue. And I am looking forward to this. I haven't watched My Hero since Season 3, but this is a prequel, and I like the concept of following a group of underground heroes. There's plenty of unexplored world building in this universe, however, Studio Bones is doing this prequel too, and the final season only begins in October this year, so I hope they're prepared for it. Guilty Gear Strive Duel Riders makes perfect sense since the video games are pretty much already anime. Uma Musume Cinderella Grey, which you may have heard about this horse girl racing series before because of all the people making comparisons of animation quality between it and Blue Lock Season 2. I just want to say, I feel real proud of this series. I remember when it was first announced years ago and most people I saw wrote it off as a joke, and then the anime came out, and to see it being upheld as the pinnacle of sports anime either says a lot about other sports anime or proves that the wildest ideas can be done well if given the time, attention, and care that they deserve. And then there's Mobile Suit Gundam G-Close. Okay, I saw the movie a few weeks ago, and it's actually pronounced Chi-Quux. I didn't get it either until then. But even though I'm not too familiar with Gundam, I didn't realize this would be a full-on series. I thought the movie was just gonna be standalone, but no, this is a full-on new Gundam series, heavily inspired from Gundam from the 1970s, and all I gotta say is I will be watching this. The movie left that positive of an impression on me. It'll be my first real foray into Gundam, and you don't need to have any prior Gundam experience in order to watch this. I gotta be honest, the more I look at this list, the less I know where to go from here. I don't think there's as many real standout hits this coming spring, but in a way that makes it special in its own right, since it feels like more of the shows have an equal opportunity to stand out. Though, if I had to pick a new series that will be the focus for a lot of people this season, it's gotta be Lazarus. For one, it's the second MAPPA anime original in a row this year after Zenshu, which has been one of my favorite anime of 2025 already. And secondly, it's being directed by Shinichiro Watanabe, who is most well known for directing Terror and Resonance, Space Dandy, Carol and Tuesday, Kids on the Slope, which hey is MAPPA's first anime, Samurai Champloo, and Cowboy Bebop. Yeah, that's a resume right there. However, I have seen some criticism that this might be leaning too hard into Bebop nostalgia. I mean, just to look at the key visual. But hey, if I made Cowboy Bebop, I'd probably do the exact same thing this anime is doing too. I think this anime will be just fine. But I also felt that way about Metallic Rouge, which leaned too heavily into the whole 25th anniversary of Bones, and that was really all it had going for it. Other than a banging soundtrack and some pretty cool fights occasionally. But I am still feeling optimistic about this series. And if we're talking anime originals, then we definitely need to talk about To Be Hero X. Now, this does have 2 prequels, but I believe they're not necessary in order to watch, and I should also mention that this technically doesn't count as anime, as it's a donghua, or a Chinese animation. However, it's on Mal, so I'm counting it, and it looks incredible. It's clearly got a lot of passion poured into it, and donghua are becoming more popular and noteworthy in recent years, with series such as Link Click and The Daily Life of the Immortal King being standouts. I'm gonna go in knowing nothing other than this is going to have some of the coolest animation we've seen all year. Not convinced yet? Well, look who's doing the soundtrack. Apocalypse Hotel is another anime original about a hotel running after humanity has been wiped out. Maibashi Witches looks to be a new Idol Magical Girl series, and yes, it is done by the same studio as the Love Live Sunshine. Food for the Soul is a new PA Works anime, so it's gonna be straight fire. Princessian Orchestra is a new anime original that will run for 4 consecutive cours. I can't remember the last time I saw an anime do that wasn't One Piece. There's Classic Stars, where these anime boys get all possessed by composers and take their names. Like, look at this guy, his name is Beethoven. Looks just like him. And then we have Moonrise, a Studio Wit original, and wouldn't you know it, it's not the only Studio Wit anime this season, as we've also got Suicide Squad Isekai Season 2. Nah, I'm just kidding. But they are remaking the anime Yaiba Samurai Legend. This was originally a series from 1993, and just like the Ranma 1/2 remake, I have to give respect for bringing back the original voice actress of Yaiba himself. And if we're talking remakes, then there's also On Shirley, which is a remake of a series from 1979. So I guess I could call it Mashalona. I'm real sorry about that. I'm not going to sing anymore in this video. But if you really want to go back, this is based off of a manga from January 2025. Wait, that's not far back. But if you really want to go far back, this is based off of a book from 1908. But if you really want to go even further back, then this is set in Prince Edward Island, which officially became a Canadian province on July 1st, 1873. And if you really want to go back, Canada became a country on July 1st, 1867. And I didn't even know Canada existed until this year. I'll let you figure out why. Shoutouts to JJ McCullough for telling me everything I know about Canada. Previously, all I knew was Rush and choking in the playoffs. Time for some light novel adaptations. This has the most anime out of any section in this video. Well, we've got Can a Boy-Girl Friendship Survive? Which should count as a fantasy anime because it looks like the blue-haired childhood friend won't be a losing heroine this time. Not one, but 2 sci-fi light novel adaptations with Your Forma. And I'm the evil lord of an intergalactic empire. And I just want to point out that this is a sci-fi isekai. How many others do you know? Sword Art Online? Kinda? Maybe? Kowloon Generic Romance is another new sci-fi anime, even though it's not a light novel adaptation, but let me just put it in here. Centered around Kowloon Walled City, which was a city that lasted for almost 100 years, until it was demolished in the mid-90s, and is known as being the most densely populated city ever. Everything I've read about this place makes it seem like it was pure nightmare fuel, which should lead into a pretty interesting anime. Alright, now comes all the fantasy light novel adaptations. From Old Country Bumpkin to Master Swordsman is an anime I will be watching because I am now in my 30s. And according to anime, that should qualify me for retirement. So I'll take the MCs who I can better relate to. The Brilliant Healers in New Life in the Shadows has plenty of elves. I will be there. Once Upon a Witch's Death, Teogonia, and The Unaware Atelier Master all seem fine enough. Except if these are the light novel adaptations this season, then why are their names so short? Come on, I want something to impress me. Aha! The Two Perfect Saint, tossed aside by my fiancé and sold to another kingdom, where the MC is kicked out of her kingdom because she's too powerful. Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. I don't know why Hogwarts kept Dumbledore around for so long. What a nerd. Summer Pockets should be a pretty feel-good anime, and I'm not just saying that because it's being made by Studio Feel. This anime is looking real pretty and is a key visual novel adaptation too, so I'm preparing to cry well in advance. Want a cute girls doing cute things anime? Well, there's Mono. Not Mono, not Nonon. Mono. There's also Zatsutabi, That's Journey, which is about an up-and-coming mangaka who gets rejected every time she submits a new draft, to the point where her only option is to go outside. However, this might actually be the most relatable anime for many of you. Catch Me at the Ballpark should be a bit more lighthearted, and after the sex of Ohtani on the Dodgers, I'm only expecting many more baseball-themed anime to come out in the near future. The Gorilla God's Go-To Girl. Wait, what? Really? That's the key visual? The Gorilla God? Amazing.
I'm the girl with the gall.
Gorilla. Honestly, this season seems a bit light on the romance anime. However, we do have the Shunji family children. And guess who's making this anime? No, I mean it. Guess. I want you to guess without looking it up. Tell me right now who you think is making this borderline incest harem anime. Dogakobo. As in Oshinoko Dogakobo? Aharen-San Dogakobo? They're really making a name for themselves lately as a top dog in terms of animation and presentation, so I have no doubt that this is in good hands. After all, it's from the same literary genius who gave us... Hold on, we've also got Witch Watch. Yeah, which one of them? Now, I recently saw the first 3 episodes of this series in theaters, and it was hilarious. It's a Studio Byberry anime too, and they're currently doing 100 Girlfriends Season 2, so they know how to do rom-coms well. I can't wait to see more of this anime, and the OP is done by Yoasobi. Witch Watch should be a must-watch for everyone. If you want something spicier, there's Please Put Them On, Takamine-San. I wonder.
If it was up to me.
Then there's also Yandere Dark Elf, She Chased Me All the Way from Another World, which is based off of a manga based off of a much spicier manga, if you get my drift. I wonder.
There's nobody, no sympathy.
I'd honestly love to see more anime like this, especially if it means we can get an anime adaptation of Amaizuming brings all the Gyaru to his house. That manga is peak slice of life, and I'm 100% serious. Oh yeah, and there's Kakushite, Makina-san, and I won-
And I'll give you everything.
I don't think I'm beating the Gunnar allegations. I need something to wind this video down, it's too long. How about The Beginning After the End, which is based off of one of the highest rated webcomics ever, and it's written by someone outside of Japan and South Korea. However, this is being animated by, yeah, let's see Paul Allen's webcomic adaptation. Well, there's Sword of the Demon Hunter, Kijin Kentosho, which is being animated by, Well, on the bright side, this was delayed nearly an entire year, and right now Studio Engi is redeeming themselves with medalists, so you never know. Been enjoying the reincarnation of Dr. House this season? Well, there's The Dinner Table Detective, which is the newest anime by Studio Madhouse, and they just wrapped up one of the best anime of the entire decade. A ninja and an assassin under one roof is a new anime from Studio Shaft. Yeah, if you didn't think that Fire Force had enough of Shaft vibes, and here's a literal Shaft. Okay, I've stalled enough. You know what the best genre of anime is? Girls band anime. It is always, almost always, the best anime you'll ever watch. And this coming spring, we have Rock as a Lady's Modesty. All I know is that it's a girls band anime, and I will be there no matter what. This would be the perfect show to end off this list, except I have one more to talk about. Now this technically isn't an anime, but Netflix is coming out with a new Devil May Cry series. Now, I bring this up because guess who is doing the OP? No. No. You have gotta be kidding me. I lied earlier, by the way.
Hands up, hands down! Tell me what you gonna do now! Keep rolling, 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 what? Keep rolling, 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 come on, keep
This will
rolling,
no doubt bring us one step closer to finding the perfect anime. Well, technically not anime, but you get the point. And there's 45 new anime, 1 new Chinese anime, 1 new Netflix show, and a couple of Konosuba OVA episodes. And there's anime carrying over, like the Apothecary Diaries Season 2 and I Left My A-Rank Party to Help My Former Students Reach the Dungeon Depths. I really am not sure what I'm going to fill my watch list with other than what I've already mentioned in this video, so I'm open to suggestions. This is looking like one of those quieter seasons where everything feels like it has a good shot at making a name for itself. And if you enjoy this video, then be sure to sub Old Country Bumpkin for more Masked Swordsman. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.